Call the regular council meeting for the corporation of the town of Cobalt to order on September 16th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. Disclosure of pecuniary interest and general nature thereof? None? Okay. 3, public meetings. There are none. 4, deputations delegation. 4.1, David Bishop, upcoming bylaw officer. David, if you'd like to come up to speak to council.
Good evening, council. Good evening. Well, I introduce myself, Dave Bishop, 56 years old. I grew up in the town of Hellebury. I attended the Hellebury Public School, Williskirk Secondary School. My father was the principal of Cobalt High School here for many years, and then went to the Temiskaming Board of Education as a superintendent. My mother, Elizabeth Bishop, was the librarian in Hellebury for 24 years and their curator. My wife and I, Wendy, plan on moving back to the area. We've already started renovations on the family camp to into a first-season property, and well into our renovations on that. I spent 33 years with the Ontario Provincial Police and the Ministry of Natural Resources. I have a diploma from the Ontario Police College, Seneca College Law Enforcement Diploma, and a diploma from the Ontario Police College in Municipal Law Enforcement as well. I have a diploma from the Ministry of Natural Resources in security, park warden, and security as well. And that's it pretty much in a nutshell. I've got experience with conflict resolution, mental health, drug addiction, many courses through the Ontario Provincial Police. Right, it just keeps on going. The last 18 years I spent with the Ontario Provincial Police in the training unit. So firearms, defensive tactics, use of force, taser, first aid, and all training aspects as well. I do still have a civilian contract with the Ontario Provincial Police as a part-time instructor when they're short and they need somebody to fill in. It's very one-off, a few days here and there. That's pretty much it. And that would be assisting the Northeast Region training units and the Ontario Provincial Police Academy as well.
Anybody have any questions for David?
Welcome to the neighborhood.
Welcome. Yeah.
Welcome back home, so to speak. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
We all leave and we all come back.
Yeah.
Actually, we do.
Yeah.
I'm pleased to hear your father was the principal in high school. I started the same year he did, so it was kind of neat.
You started high school the same year he started?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to working with you, David. And good luck on the rest of your renovations. I know how
thank
that
you.
goes.
Yes, I will. Thank you, Council. I look forward to working with everybody.
Stop by for a coffee anytime.
I will. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know where I live.
Any other questions?
Oh, you know where the problem child is. Eh?
That's it.
Thank you, Council.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome
Thank
Thank you,
aboard.
Mayor. Appreciate
Yeah.
the opportunity to come and speak with all of you today.
Thank you. Nice to see you. Nice to put a name to your, a face to your name.
Thanks, David.
Thanks, Dave.
4.2, Sean Hearn, Chief of Cobalt Fire Department, 2025-2026 Fire Protection Grants. Can you educate us?
Well, I don't know about that. Good evening, Your Worship, Council, Mr. Daly, how are you? I'm just here to touch on the fire protection grant, which was announced in March of 2024. With the increased risk that firefighters face with cancer, they've decided to take action, and the Ontario government in 2024 passed a motion to invest $30 million into Ontario fire brigades. It's $10 million over each year, and it's supposed to enhance, there's 3 criteria. We really focus more on the cancer prevention end of it. This year, we're fortunate when we apply for next year, for 2026, that they've doubled it, so it's $20 million. So the way it works out is pretty much, it's based on how many fire stations each municipality has. So I think last year was roughly just over $8,000. So next year, we're looking at $16,000. Last year, we applied for a extractor. It's basically just a fancy washing machine to get the chemicals and the contaminants and that out of the bunker gear. Before, we just had a regular washing machine using regular soap, and now we use specialized soap. So it's supposed to, what happens is if you don't clean your gear properly, all that stuff stays on your gear, and even though you're breathing it in, and it's absorbed through your skin. So hopefully, especially with volunteer firefighters, we want to try to protect them as best we can. So that's what we're shooting for anyways. So this year we're looking at maybe purchasing a dryer to go along with the washer, and some Nomex hoods, some gloves, some proper fitting equipment that will actually protect you to avoid absorbing stuff through your skin. So that's pretty much where we're at. Then there'll be another year as well, and then hopefully they bump it up. But right now we're looking at $10 million again next year. So unfortunately, it's too bad we have to split it up amongst all the other debates, but we can't be too greedy. So.
Or they can't just donate to our fire truck?
Yeah.
That would be nice.
There were pretty strict stipulations on what you can buy. You can't just put in for something and buy something else. So, and I'm working with Steve as well to input it through T-Pond. So all your reporting that goes through there as well. So the good news is there's no cost to the taxpayers or the municipalities. Anytime you can get a grant like that, you want to jump on it.
Mhm, for sure.
That's great. And the timeline of the application for this?
So it's got to be in, we have to apply by the end of September, and or like you don't find out, I think, till early 2026 if you get the money. But I don't see it being an issue, so it'll be the same thing the following year.
Okay.
But it helps us in the budget end of it too as well. If we're, if we're going to put in for gloves and Nomex hoods, and it's something we don't have to budget for. So
Every little bit.
take it off the grant, exactly.
Every little bit helps.
Sure.
Right.
Well, that's good news.
Any questions at all?
Fire Chief Hearn and I will be working on this week, doing a submission, as he already received some quotes. Is that your?
Yeah, I have quotes for everything.
So, actually, last year, I do recall, I think they upped it. There was a second portion of that grant last year.
Yeah, there was
They
a couple
increased it a little
$100 or something. It's based on, they base it on how many fire departments apply. So, they might say, okay, it's 300 and some fire departments in Ontario. Everybody gets $8,000. Well, if a couple of fire departments don't apply, then they take that money and put it back in. So that's why we got the extra $200 and some dollars.
And what's a dryer cost? Just for curiosity.
So a non-fancy dryer, which is what we're shooting for, is anywhere from $8,000 to $10,000. Now, I'm working with Coleman Township Fire Chief as well, where we're getting quotes from different companies so that we can kind of make sure we're not getting the gears put to us. And, we obviously want to buy decent equipment, but we want to buy it at a reasonable rate as well. So.
Okay.
And this is a special dryer.
Yeah, well, the dryer just basically your bunker gear just hangs over it and it dries it. Other than just leaving it out to dry, it takes forever. So if you're stuck, you go to another call. You either put soaking wet gear on, or you have old gear that's really not
Okay.
legitimate.
But it's not like our regular dryers we have at the house.
No.
Okay.
That's what we were using as a regular dryer. This is designed to hang up and blow the air through and dry it properly. So
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
and a lot quicker.
Yeah.
How's inflation hitting the specialized equipment?
Well, that's what took so long is I sent AJ Stone probably an email 3 months ago, but now because they're looking for next year, because they're not billing us till next year, they got to make sure that the tariffs affect it. It's not cheap. As soon as you put any specialized, whether it's EMS or fire department or police, as soon as they know you're looking for it, I'm sure the price is. So that's why you kind of got to work together and find somebody that has a decent price for what you're purchasing.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty smart to compare your quotes with another
Yeah.
municipality to make sure that
Yeah.
you're.
How long does this dryer last? They're good for how many
I've
years?
never had one of them. I imagine
Oh.
probably.
So you've never had,
No, probably, I'm gonna say probably 25, 30 years, I would
Okay.
imagine.
Yeah.
maybe even longer,
Yeah.
because we're probably not gonna use it very
Don't use
often.
it the same
I
amount.
just saw other ones.
Yeah, but if you go practice and you're doing pumping and stuff, it's like right here.
Oh, yeah.
The dryer will probably come in handier than the washer, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so. Much. Yeah. Right on.
Anybody else? No?
I just want to thank council as well for the purchase of the fire truck. It's been awesome, we appreciate it, and the boys for looking after it, and it's certainly nice to have something that they can rely on. So we appreciate that as well, so thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, if we can get a Santa earlier this year, we'll be using your truck for Christmas again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you,
thanks a
Sean.
lot, Sean.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. 5, adoption of meeting agenda, draft motion. Be it resolved that council approve the agenda of the regular meeting dated September 16th, 2025 as presented. I need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Wilcox and Councillor Starchuk. Any discussion, clarification required on the agenda? All in favor? Carried. 6, adoption of previous council minutes, draft motion. Be it resolved that council approve the following minutes as presented. Regular meeting of council, August 19th, 2025. A mover and a seconder. Councillor Lafleur and Councillor Anderson. Any errors, omissions, clarifications? Right, all in favor? Carried. 7, staff reports, draft motion. Be it resolved that council accept the staff reports as presented. I need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Lafleur, Councillor Anderson. 7.1, staff report 2025-09-1601. Provincial Waterworks Municipal Drinking Water License. Any questions, discussion? Councillor Wilcox.
Just one, when I was looking at your notes on the budgets, I noticed for 2025, the budget declined from almost 25,000 in 24 to 20,000 as an estimate. And then thereafter, they were around 25,000, went up 5% each subsequent year. Why the drop down to 20,000?
That's for the 2024,
2025, I thought.
25 budget here. If you look at the attachment here, we were using this as a percentages to provide government, because right now, like staff is looking to, is council authorization for the municipal drinking water system financial plan, because there's a requirement now for the Safe Drinking Water Act of 2002, because as part of the province's commitment to fulfill Justice O'Connor's Walkerton inquiry recommendations, the MOE implemented an approvals framework. So all this is a framework for the next 6 years. And it has to have the following 5 elements in place: drinking water works permit to take water, approved operational plan, accredited operation authority, as well as an approved financial plan. So right now, we're just looking for a resolution to accept this, and this then gets forward to Aqua and brought forward to the government higher ups.
I think the 2024 is because there's a lot of actuals in there.
Yeah, my question is with regard to sale of water to other municipalities. Second line from the top.
Yeah.
24,496 in 24.
And
And
then
then
with
it
the
dropped down
drop
to
there,
20,000.
I'll have to just double check those numbers and I'll get back to you on
Yeah,
that
just-
one.
it looks
Yeah,
like-
it
it
has
struck
the
me as an
$4,000
aberration, you know,
decrease.
that's a pretty dependable customer, that other municipality.
Did we change anything on how we vote?
No. No change as well.
Any other questions? Would you forward that response to?
Yeah, all of them.
7.2, staff report 2025-09-1602, Cochrane Food Bank request. Discussion. Councillor Anderson.
Yeah, I'd just like to speak on this a little bit. First of all, our staff report, for anyone that is interested, listening online, looking at our stuff, I am 100% behind this staff report, okay? But what has also really upset me in the last 2-3 months is the food bank has been winding down, as the number of criticisms that those that run the food bank and those of us work there, because we're quitting. And that's very, very sad. Food banks are not a town thing. They are a nonprofit charitable business run by very strict rules. And we have had for many, many years a group of very senior people running this and all along. And well, now that we don't have a place for it, but as well, when you consider they were all getting too old for the job. This job takes a lot of physical work. Going and getting cases and cases of groceries and everything, splitting them up, getting them all into bags. There's an awful lot of physical work. So for those people who are very critical of us quitting, or that our main group, saying, no, we've got to stop, get your butts out there. You can start a food bank the same way that was always done. You get your core group of people together to make a board. Then you go and you do the work to get your nonprofit status, your charitable status, and through all the other food banks, and especially if you contact the Salvation Army, you will get expert help. But this requires people not in our 80s, thank you, we've worn out. It should be citizens of town in their 30s, 40s, 50s, getting together and doing this. You can start again, but do it. Don't complain because we had to stop. The people that have run that food bank and worked at it in the 11 years that I've been working as just a volunteer doing the easy job, they deserve every bit of thanks, hugs that you can give them for doing all this manual labor for the benefit of the people in town that really, really, really do need the food. So please stop the complaints, or excuse me, but get off your butts and organize and put another food bank together in the proper format, and it'll work. And then I'm sure you will get the 15 or 20 extra volunteers that are needed on the weekly days of running it. But be prepared that you are going to be spending 2 or 3 days per week doing physical labor to get that food already. So that's all I wanted to say, was give up these heroes, those 5 or 6 people on that board, a real hug. They kept it going. They were seniors when they took it over. So give them a hug and a thanks for it instead of criticism for it.
Very well said, for sure.
Do you have a list of names you'd like to thank from the food bank?
No, I think the people that used the food bank and everything, you'll be able to find out. Yeah, they can call me, but no, they would not want me. They're too shy. They wouldn't want me saying it out over the.
Oh, I meant the volunteers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You had a list of volunteers you want to thank.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and phone numbers and everything. And I'll also say that if someone goes to the effort of getting another one going, my job is really simple because I can sit down, so I'm quite happy to go back and volunteer as.
How old are you now?
In actual days?
Yes.
No, I would go back and work at the same job I had, which is, I'm the first person they meet and I do that kind of paperwork.
Right
but-
on. Sorry about that.
Anyway, say thank you to them, because, and put your heads together, because we did feed off a lot of people. A lot of singles,
Children
seniors, couples,
and children.
and the hardest ones were the families. So, there's a lot there that got fed that need it.
Councillor Starchuk.
I was gonna say that the location was the problem, to have a location for it, wasn't it? Not the.
Oh, yeah, losing the location and
Lost the location now.
Yeah. And we continued and continued, but for, no, probably last 5 or 6 years. On top of that, we've been talking age. Um, how many 80 pluses do you know can go and fill up the back of their pickup truck with cartons of canned goods and then bring them to a location and bring them inside and then start to take them apart? It is very physical job that 4, 5 or 6 people were doing. And it's week after week after week and 2 or 3 days a week. Those of us nice volunteers that sat and smiled and handed out the food were there one Wednesday a month, sometimes 2 if people were on holidays. The rest of them, it was 2 or 3 days of heavy work every single week. For those that want to try, go ahead, please.
So I'm going to speak on the Cochrane Food Bank as well, and I'm going to also second what Deputy Mayor Anderson said. Food banks aren't run by municipalities. Food banks are run by volunteer groups, church groups. They're a nonprofit. I don't agree with the way the pressure was put on the municipality by the Cochrane Food Bank for this. This is outside of the scope of the municipality. And I see there is some activity on Facebook about another food bank. And my best advice is get a group of volunteers together and go with it. But also recognize that it's hard to find people who will volunteer steady. So you're going to need double the number that you would normally. And I agree with Deputy Mayor Anderson that kudos go out to all the individuals who were on the old food bank. We worked with them tirelessly to try and find a new location. And unfortunately, we were not successful in doing so. But they are all older and they deserve to enjoy some retirement as well. And some kudos for the job well done that they have done for the years they've done it. And that's all I have to say. Anybody else?
I'd like to just thank the church that's helping out the best they can. And they give out soup, on certain days there.
Yeah.
They've done an awful nice job, and they're not young. These ladies are not young either.
Fourth Saturday of every month for lunch. Yeah.
Yep.
That's a free lunch.
Yeah, it's a free lunch and whatnot. So, yeah.
And so I think at this time, we'll see what comes out of this. All in favor of accepting the staff reports? Carried. 8 items for council consideration. 8.1 council vacancy. Draft motion. Be it resolved that the following individuals who have signified in writing that they are legally qualified to hold office and consented to accept the office if they're appointed to fill the vacancy be considered by appointment to fill such vacancy. We need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Lafleur and Councillor Wilcox. The applicants in alphabetical order based on their last name are Gary Bigelow and Stephen Ward. Appointment to council selection process. Each applicant in alphabetical order based on their last name will be given 2 minutes to address council and the audience to outline why they should be selected to serve on council. Council will then proceed to vote by way of public vote in accordance with section 244 of the Municipal Act and bylaw 2024-40.
Pardon me.
Where am I going? Right here, in my notes. Okay. At this time, we will give each applicant 2 minutes to address council. Gary Bigelow, she would like to come up to address council.
Mayor and Council, I passed you all a copy of what I'm going to say, so you have it on hand. I'll read it off to you because it's only about 2 minutes. Not very much. I believe strongly that I can continue helping move this council forward with optimism and collaboration. Why? Because I bring valued experience and deep commitment to our community. Over the years, I've gained knowledge not only as a councillor but also as a member of the Water Commission with important water-related issues likely to arise in the near future. I am ready to guide thoughtful discussions and help ensure sound decisions are made. The experience is what allows for open dialogue, respect for every councillor perspective, and a willingness to explore all options before making the best choice for the team. As a past chair of the Works Department, I have worked closely with staff and understand the importance of completing projects efficiently and effectively. My practical knowledge of equipment, infrastructure, and operation helps me communicate well with our crews and support their efforts in keeping our community running smoothly. I also recognize the significance of financial responsibility. Having been involved in the budgeting process, I understand the balance required to invest wisely while ensuring fiscal stability. A steady, thoughtful approach to spending helps keep our budget strong and our town on track. Most importantly, I value teamwork and respectful discussions. A strong council is built on the voice of all its members, working together until a clear path forward is reached. I would be honored to serve on council, contributing my experience and dedication to help guide our town in a positive direction. Together, I believe we can achieve great things for our community future. Now, that was me reading the views, and you all know me as a person. I'll speak my mind. As for discussions of most motions, we will get a say and tell exactly what it is. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Gary. Thank you.
Okay, so our next candidate, Stephen Ward.
Good evening to all councils. Brief introduction. I've lived here in Cobalt with my amazing wife for almost 6 years now. I have 3 grown children here and 1 son out west. And let's just say a pile of grandchildren and great-granddaughter. I worked out west and around the world as a chef and retired in Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. After my last position as executive chef in Newfoundland and Labrador on the Muskrat Falls Dam project, we decided to move back here to be closer to our family because that is very important to us. I'm active in the community as a Legion member and as a member of the Golden Age Club. I enjoy golfing, fishing, metal detecting, and playing guitar. So why do I want to be on the town council? Over the years, I have worked in both public and private industries. I simply want to assist with the growth and development of this unique town. There needs to be safety and security for the seniors as well. Basically, let's also just say a reason for the younger people to stay or to even want to stay in the town of Cobalt. If you don't have people staying, you're not going to have a town. It's very simple. I would like to help work towards creating more opportunities for employment, both part-time as well as full-time in the town. I've always tried to learn, teach, and lead by example all through my life and work skills. In closing, I just want to say I am always a very positive person and I love to set and accomplish new goals and ideas. I love a challenge and I am a great team player who always likes to think outside of the box. I have the time as well as the commitment to assist this town and to help it maintain a small and friendly town feel. Thank you kindly for listening.
Thank you very much, Steve. Thank you.
Thank you. Council will now vote by a show of hands. All those in favor of Gary Bigelow. Recorded. recorded vote. Councillor Anderson.
No.
Councillor Bigelow.
No.
Councillor Anderson.
No.
Councillor Anderson. No. Councillor Bigelow. No. Councillor Anderson. 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 No. Cou Counselor Hughes,
No.
Counselor LaFleur,
No.
Counselor Starcheck,
No.
Counselor Wilcox,
No.
and Mayor Adsett, no. Okay, all those in favor of Stephen Ward? Counselor Anderson,
Yes.
Counselor Hughes,
Yes.
Counselor LaFleur,
Yes.
Counselor Starcheck,
Yes.
Counselor Wilcox,
Yes.
Mayor Adsett, yes. The results are unanimous with Stephen Ward. So therefore, they're a successful candidate. Oh, so I need to vote to close. All those in favor? Okay, the successful candidate is Stephen Ward. Draft motion, be it resolved that Stephen Ward be appointed to the councillor position on the Town of Cobalt Council for the remainder of the 2022-2026 term of council. And further, that the declaration of office be administered at the next regular meeting of council dated October 14th, 2025. A mover and a seconder. Councillor LaFleur and Councillor Hughes. Any discussion? All in favor? Carried. .2, August 6, 2025 municipal tax sale results, vesting of properties. Draft motion. Whereas council received staff report 2025-08-1902 at the regular meeting of council dated August 19, 2025 with a recommendation to vest. Now therefore be it resolved that council directs staff to register a notice of vesting for 29 Hudson Bay Road and 17 Pyrite Street North, and that all taxes and charges totaling $15,621.95 be written off and the proportionate share be charged back to the school boards. And further, that staff investigate all options for the vested properties, including declaring the properties surplus and selling the properties to recover the uncollected amounts. Need a mover and a seconder. Councillor LaFleur and Councillor Wilcox. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor? Carried. 8.3, Provincial Waterworks 5-year financial plan, municipal requirement of Safe Drinking Water Act 2002. Related to staff report 2025-09-16-01. Draft motion. Whereas section 1(1) of the Safe Drinking Act 2002 requires a person makes an application for a municipal drinking water shall, before making the application, prepare and approve financial plans for the system that satisfies the requirements prescribed under section 2. And whereas council received staff report 2025-09-16-01, now therefore be it resolved that council approve the water financial plan prepared for the Town of Cobalt's municipal drinking water system in accordance with Ontario Regulation 453-07. And further, that staff supply the water financial plan to the Ontario Clean Water Agency, who will submit the application and the financial plan to the Ministry of Environment and the Ministry of Municipal Affairs in accordance with the Safe Drinking Water Act 2002. Need a mover and a seconder. Councillor LaFleur and Councillor Anderson. Any discussion? All in favor? Carried. 8.4, rescheduling of November 11th, 2025 council meeting. Draft motion, be it resolved that the regular meeting of council scheduled for Tuesday, November 11th, 2025 be rescheduled to Wednesday, November 12th, 2025 due to the holiday office closure. A mover and a seconder. Councillor LaFleur, Councillor Anderson. Any discussion?
Where did the year go?
Where did the year go? Yeah, right. Not far.
Just on a side note, that's due to Remembrance Day.
Yeah.
All in favor? Carried. 8.5, Cochrane Food Bank request, staff report 2025-09-1602. Draft motion, whereas the Cochrane Food Bank has extended their support and encouragement towards a continued presence of a food bank in the town of Cobalt, and whereas the Cochrane Food Bank has suggested that the town of Cobalt seek a donation of an enclosed trailer to serve as a mobile or temporary food bank facility, and whereas the Cochrane Food Bank is committed to help stock the mobile food bank regularly and provide training and guidance to any volunteers or staff who wish to be involved, and share operational knowledge and resources to help ensure the initiative is sustainable, as long as the town of Cobalt provide a secure location for the mobile food bank. Be it resolved that the Cochrane Food Bank be approached to establish and sustain a food bank in the town of Cobalt, and further that the staff locate and provide a secure location to establish a food bank. Establish a Cobalt food bank. A mover and a seconder. Councillor Lafleur and Councillor Hughes. Discussion? Councillor Hughes.
I don't think there's anywhere in this town that's secure for a food truck.
Food bank trailer.
I don't think, no matter where it is, it'd be broken into.
Yeah.
Once a week, twice a week.
Okay. Anybody else?
I think my foreign con, what I said formerly, no,
Yeah.
it has to come from Cobalt, it has to be Cobalt starting it.
Yeah.
And it has to be done according to all the legalities.
So, in favor? Defeated. 8.6, letter of support, Northern Ontario Resource Development Support, NORDS. Draft motion, whereas the Northern Ontario Resource Development Support, NORDS, pilot program was introduced to help Northern Ontario municipalities address infrastructure pressures resulting from natural resource sector activities. And whereas the program has been well received and has allowed municipalities such as the town of Cobalt to strategically accumulate multi-year allocations in order to support larger scale infrastructure initiatives critical to community development and economic growth. And whereas the town of Cobalt recognized the importance of modern, safe, and efficient infrastructure to support economic growth and industrial competitiveness. Now therefore be it resolved that the Council for the Corporation of the Town of Cobalt strongly urges the Government of Ontario to make the Northern Ontario Resource Development Support, NORDS, program a permanent fixture of its support to northern municipalities. And further that the province consider expanding the program eligibility to recognize the significant impact that agricultural equipment and operations have on municipal infrastructure, particularly in rural communities. And further, that the town of Cobalt formally supports the principle of stacking, accumulating funding for multiple grant and infrastructure programs to advance strategic capital works, and requests continued flexibility from higher levels of government to enable effective financial planning and timely delivery of large-scale municipal infrastructure initiatives. And further, that a copy of this resolution be forwarded to the Minister of Northern Development, the Minister of Agricultural, Food and Agribusiness, the Minister of Infrastructure, the Minister of Natural Resources, Timiskaming MPP John Bantoff, the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, AMO, the Federation of Northern Ontario, FNOM, Rural Ontario Municipal Association, ROMA, and all Ontario municipalities for their awareness and support. A mover and a seconder. Councillor Lafleur and Councillor Anderson, any discussion? All in favor? Carried. 8.7, letter of support Moonbeam's call to end aerial herbicide spraying. Draft motion, be it resolved that the Council of the Town of Cobalt supports the Township of Moonbeam's resolution calling on the provincial and federal governments to take immediate action to end the aerial spraying of glyphosate. Glyphosate?
Glyphosate.
Okay.
Yeah.
And further, that a copy of this resolution be forwarded to the Minister of Environment, Timiskaming MPP John Bantoff, the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, AMO, the Federation of Northern Ontario, FNOM, Rural Ontario Municipal Association, ROMA. A mover and a seconder. Councillor Wilcox and Councillor Starchuk. Any discussion?
No.
Councillor Wilcox.
Just wanted to point out a little history on this, because many months ago, when I was about 8 years of age, we went picking blueberries in the bush, as we were all wont to do,
Yes.
with dreams of blueberry muffins and pie and pancakes. And we found a really nice spot. We sat down and just went at it. My bucket was about 3/4 full when a gentleman from the Department of Lands and Forests, the younger fellows know it as the Ministry of Natural Resources now, but he came walking out of the woods and said, "You got to dump them. This place has been sprayed." And as an 8-year-old, I was very disappointed to hear that. And but oddly enough, it's only later that I realized that that should have applied to bears and moose and all kinds of other things that also eat blueberries. This stuff is dangerous. It's the active ingredient in Roundup, and Roundup was made unfit for domestic use by the government some time ago. Quebec, our cousins over in Quebec have wisely done this in 2021, you think? No, 2001. In 20 years ago or so. They jumped on board and said, yeah, it's a dumb idea, we should put that. And so when I saw this motion from the township of Moonbeam, who are to some extent affected, and I got busy looking up other things. Certainly our First Nations group are keenly interested in getting this stopped. And so I think I really hope Cobalt will jump on the bandwagon and support the motion.
Yep. Right on.
Spray it one place, they'll spray it somewhere else. Don't spray it in my backyard.
Anybody else? All in favor? Carried. Items for council information. Draft motion, be it resolved that council accept the items for council information as presented. We need a mover and a seconder. Councillor LaFleur, Councillor Starchuk. 9.1, Timiskaming Foundation 2025 Annual Grants, Silverland Cemetery Donation. Discussion. Steve, would you like to speak on this?
Certainly. Timiskaming Foundation, in turn, gave for the Silverland Cemetery actually through the Silver Lodge Masonic Fund of $1,000. So I just wanted to recognize that $1,000 donation coming through.
9.2, Northeastern Public Health Community Merger Update, September 2025. Any discussion? 9.3, OPP Detachment Board 3 Update. Well, we had a meeting, and everybody's even more confused now than they were before the meeting. Things came to light for those of us who have never had an OPP board before, that apparently there's costs associated, something about insurance. We're not quite sure. Nobody really had any answers. Nobody wants to drive the bus. So we're waiting for some more clarification. Because as the member of council who was nominated to be on the board, I'm even more confused than anybody else that was in the meeting. Because I have never been on a police board. So, yeah. That's the best update I can give you. We don't know any more than, actually, we probably know less than we used to know. So, because now I'm even less sure of how it all works. Councillor LaFleur.
Do we know what kind of cost? What the cost is?
No, I
And
think
then
the
what is
number
it?
got thrown out that just about scared the pants right off of me, but, so I'm not even gonna say it in the meeting. It was something like $10,000 for insurance.
What was it, how for it to have a board? Is that what it was?
It was to insure it, and why you're insuring an OPP board, I don't know, but it's not like we're telling the police what they have to go do.
That's crazy.
So I'm a little confused. Anyway, so we do have a point of contact. We're gonna be getting more clarification. From the solicitor, and the Solicitor General's office is well aware that we're all very confused now.
Do we have to? Sorry? Do we have to pay?
And that's more information that we're finding out.
Thank you.
I believe this is not mandatory, but if we want a say or we want to be able to communicate with our OPP detachment, we have to do so through a board. And I knew that was coming because Joel, the past superintendent, had explained that to me when I was the council liaison with the OPP. So I knew that that was coming. So anyway, we're gonna get more information and we'll pass it along to council and the public as we get it. And hopefully we'll all get a little less confused.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor? Carried. 10, bylaws and agreements. 10.1, bylaw 2025-29, exotic animals. Draft motion, be it resolved that bylaw 2025-29 being a bylaw to prohibit or regulate the keeping of certain classes of animals, be read a third time and finally passed the 16th day of September 2025. And further, that the said bylaw be signed and sealed by the mayor and clerk. Need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Hughes, Councillor Anderson. Any discussion? I think this is something that's very important because there is nobody else that will regulate the keeping of exotic animals. And as we found out through what happened in a neighboring municipality, it can happen. More and more people are keeping different species of animals as pets, and especially primates. If you get bit by a primate, it will affect you for the rest of your life. And can have some very adverse side effects. Okay, so all in favor? Carried. 11, unfinished business, there is none. 12, new business. 12.1, schedule of accounts, draft motion. Be it resolved that council receives the following schedules as presented. Schedule number 2025-16 in the amount of $154,755.78. Schedule number 2025-17 in the amount of $68,272.24. A mover and seconder. Councillor Wilcox, Councillor Lafleur. Any discussion? Clarification? All in favor? Carried. 13, mayor's report. I think I've spoken enough tonight, so I'm going to stay quiet.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll count on it for the next one. And we will move along. 14, closed meeting, draft motion. Be it resolved that council convene in closed session as per section 239 of the Municipal Act 2001 as amended, in order to address a matter pertaining to subsection 2A, security of the property of the municipality or local board. 2B, personal matter about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees. 2F, advice that is subject to solicitor/client privilege, including communication necessary for that purpose. A mover and a seconder. Councillor Starchuk and Councillor Lafleur. All in favor? Carried. Just to be clear, we will not be recording resuming our video recording after we come out of close. And we'll take a 10-minute recess.
Okay.